And welcome to the We Like Sportz show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus. Oh my goodness, who is this guy? It's Casey in Orlando. Welcome to the show, Casey, co-hosting it with the most in it. No, I can't
That's
even
right.
I'm so excited right now, Casey.
You can't control your excitement. You don't have to do it with your hands like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights.
Yeah, well, here's another thing too, and to jump into the rap game, because my son is telling me all about this. Chris Brown is beefing with Quavo. There's some diss tracks going down. The Drake, the Kendrick Lamar, the J. Cole. Casey, do you even know what's going on? Is this World War III in the rap game?
You're on a Casey's zone here. Back in the day, I know all these names you named. I know all these people, but I have no idea what's going on with them. I know that Darren Waller and Kelsey Plum broke up. That's what
okay.
I know.
Now I was just about to get in that. Now I'm getting on the X, and I'm seeing she's dropping Bible verses and things like that, and it's definitely turned up a lot in that game.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, drama everywhere.
Yeah, drama. But I tend to like that. That's why, being a Cleveland sports fan, I mean, the one thing we've always had is drama. Look at the Browns when they weren't winning. I mean, you still had drama. You still got drama now with the quarterback situation.
Yeah, so interesting to you. I was at a lunch on X, like you just said, and something stood out to me that I did not recall, or I did recall once I saw it, but I forgot in Browns history. As you brought up, the draft's coming up, right? That's Thursday. And I wanted to see if you could guess.
Oh God.
We're going back, not 2004. Don't you worry about this. There's a player that I totally forgot about that the Browns drafted the second round. Oh. So early draft pick, right? Okay. Running back in 2010. So if you're thinking because I was thinking of this, right? Because we have a pick, 52, I think?
Pick 54.
54. This was pick 59. And we were talking possibly a running back, right? That was talked about previously at that spot, Blake Corum, etc. So, do you recall who I'm talking about? He went to Tennessee. I can tell you that. But he had to be a high prospect if he was taken the second round.
Was it Montario Hardesty?
Yes, Montario Hardesty. I totally forgot about this guy.
Well, the only thing I remember about this guy is, he had two blown out knees, and then he got to the Browns, and I don't think we need
his ACL in his in one of the first games he played with us. Yeah, I totally forgot about Montario Hardesty. But once I saw the name, I remembered him. But that was a Browns player that was out of my memory for the last 10 years. Not even thinking.
That's not a bad thing, Casey.
So hopefully this year, whoever we draft at 54 is not someone that we forget about in 10 years from now.
Right. Absolutely. But, let's have a little fun. There's three things I wanted to hit on, especially with the title saying we got to hit on the NFL draft. Got to talk NBA. We got to talk Major League Baseball. So since we're in NFL talk right now, let's play a game.
All right.
Let's go mock draft time, because we'll just go 1, 2, 3. We'll just do the top 10 or whatever like that.
Yeah, that works.
I don't want to get into too much here. So obviously I'll go first, because
are we going with any? So this is if no one trades anything, right?
Nobody. We're not playing the trade games or nothing like that.
Exactly.
So I'm going to say the Bears with the first pick in the NFL draft. The Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC, number 1. I think I agree. Pretty fair. And
I'm on the same page.
Do that. Even better. We'll even do it. We'll both each do our picks. Okay, so we're both in consensus agreement with that one.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right, number 2 now. We go to the Washington Commanders?
Correct, Commanders.
Okay, because I'm going to say they're going to go – it's between Drake May and Jaden Daniels, I'm assuming there.
I'm thinking Drake May, if I had to guess.
I'm going to say Jaden Daniels. I'm going to just be different on this one. I don't know. Who do you think is going to be the better quarterback prospect moving forward?
It's so hard because I always fall back to this. I fall back to that Baker Mayfield draft just because it was so close to us, right? Like I think I was so involved in that because it was such a big deal with those quarterbacks and the Browns needing a quarterback, right? So going into the draft, we did not think Baker was going to number 1, until the draft day, right? We thought it was Sam Darnold or even maybe Josh Rosen, right? So it's so hard to predict, and I'm sure you've seen before too. Those throwbacks to cold takes of ESPN magazine with Blaine Gabbert and all those saying this is the next big, Ryan Mallett, people like that.
Right? Yeah.
So it's so rare that like, you've got Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix is up there,
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy's up there, those five, right? If you told me in 5 years, what do you think they're going to be ranking wise? It's so hard to predict because you
Right.
don't know, man. It's great. Like it's Zach Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Like Zach Wilson, they traded so much for him, and now they gave him to the Broncos, right? For nothing,
Yeah.
pretty much. So it's tough, but it's all about, like, I think we've talked before too, is the fit. We spoke about Wembanyama and all them and stuff like that. I
Yep.
think it's about the fit of the team. It's not about the player as much. It's about who do they put around the player and do they play to their strengths, right? So look at what's it called, CJ Stroud,
Yeah.
right? He's phenomenal, right? He's looking great. Bryce Young, not so great, right? But I mean, he has potential. But I think
Right.
it's all about the opportunity, because it's so hard with the Patriots, though. I don't know,
Well,
man. If Drake May goes there, what's a better situation, right? Do you think, as a quarterback, going to the Commanders or going to the Patriots right now?
well, here's the thing. Okay, so I would.
I don't know.
I don't. I obviously you look at the Patriots organization, but here's the thing. They drafted Mac Jones, and it was Mac Jones as
Yeah.
Mac Jones. But I
But
mean,
he looked good the first year.
and
There
he
was
did.
potential.
And
That
he
was like the
did.
best quarterback in the draft. In that draft after season one, rookie year,
There-
that's who they thought was the most potential.
I know. Well, that leads us to our third pick.
Yeah.
The Patriots pick number 3. I'm going to go because I picked Jaden Daniels at number 2 for the Commanders. I'm going to say Drake May. Then we'll go to number 3 to the
Yeah, so
Patriots.
this is a hot take, but maybe they take JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
It's just so hard for me to see. How do I phrase it? Like Jaden Daniels is like more of a mobile quarterback than I think than the other two. Really, it's just
Right.
weird. It would be so weird for me to see the Patriots. Granted, it's a younger coach, Gerard Mayo, right? So different
Yep.
schemes and everything. But it would be so weird to me to see a mobile quarterback be the Patriots quarterback, because my entire life it was pocket
Yep.
passer, because Mac Jones wasn't really a fast guy. So
Right.
I think maybe they go with JJ McCarthy and surprise,
Okay.
because
So
like I said, it's rare that you see the way it's supposed to go, go that way.
Right.
I just think that there might be something that could be,
Okay.
out of the ordinary there.
Okay, well then so obviously number 1 we both got Williams. Daniels for me at 2. You got May. I got May at 3. You got McCarthy at 3. Well, yeah, 3 as well. So now we go to number 4. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. I think they're just going to do the right thing, the normal thing, and that is pick the best wide receiver in the draft. What I think, because I know there's been some talk since with Roma Duze and everything.
Yeah, correct. And then Marvin Harrison.
I'm going to say Marvin Harrison Jr. to the desert. So who do you got at 4 for the Cardinals?
I see it too. Like, because I mean,
they need a playmaker for.
I agree with you. They do. It's just like even Malik Neighbors, right? That's
another one. That would have been my
be,
second. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky, but I say I think Marvin Harrison's the better.
I agree. Okay, so you're gonna we'll lock him in there at 4, and now we got number 5. I'll let you pick first. Okay, here. This Chargers at number 5. So we got obviously Michigan's new coach going. Well, not new coach at Michigan, but Michigan's coach going to Harbaugh going there.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I think Brock Bowers.
You like Brock?
Yeah, just because they did lose. Like if you do look at the he would be Bowers or Neighbors, but I go Bowers. Just
I'm gonna go Neighbors there. That's funny.
That's what I'm saying, because they need weapons. I think there's no way they don't go with Harrison, Bowers, or Neighbors in there, or even Aduze. But like it's one of it's got to be
they need a weapon for their quarterback. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. With the new offense, with, like you said, Harbaugh being there, I think that's what they're going to go with.
Okay, well, then I'll let you go first again. At number 6, the New York Football Giants come in.
I say Jaden Daniels go to the Giants.
Wow. Okay, so that's okay. Wow.
Yeah, I'm throwing it off there, but
you are throwing it off.
I think that's just because Daniel Jones, man. I don't know. I don't think they're confident in Daniel Jones is what I'm saying.
They gave him that contract. They got him for like 2 more years after that. So it was a 3-year
I know, man, but look at Russell Wilson. I mean,
that's true. In the NFL, they cut bait real quick, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So you never know with, what people are going to do with that stuff. And like I said, I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's all Jaden Daniels in there. If not, it would be, I would think, Neighbors, but I'll go with Jaden Daniels.
Okay, Dan. I'm going to go because I already have Junior and the Neighbors taken off the board. I'm going to go Roma Duze right there because they need a playmaker. And So basically I got 3 wide receivers in a row with Marvin Harrison at 4, Neighbors at 5, and then 6 with Rome. So I mean, this NFL is filled with great wide receiver talent. And
exactly. And you see, if you look in recently, right, like back, I would say 10 years ago, go back to the Turn Hardesty, those receivers back then, like I think there was more bust than booms back then.
Yes.
You know, or it takes 5 years for them to look good, right? So right now, I think what we see in the last 5 years is most receivers taken early. 4 of the 5, let's say in the first round, are studs. Like either they're pretty good. There's 1 or 2 guys,
Look at Garrett Wilson. Look at Olave. Look at that. I mean, that's
what I'm saying. There's only like 1. Quentin Flowers, I think, was one of the ones that wasn't so good. But like, there's always 1 or 2. But overall, they're recently and past Devontae Smith even. You know, in recent memory, like there's guys that are
success rate is like I would say in the top 5. 4 out of 5 usually are so that's 80% right there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think that it's exactly. Even like Pitts, like he was one of the few that were drafted high up as a tight end, right? But I mean, again,
first pass receiving,
and look at the Falcons. Like, who's throwing to him? Fucking Desmond Ridder hasn't he's throwing 10 passes a game, right? And then was Mariota like I think with the
Cousins now.
We'll see. That's what I'm saying. That's this year with Cousins. I think we'll see how the Falcons, they have weapons, So I think that it's just I don't think it's going to stray away from taking Bowers in the top.
Oh, I agree. I would agree
just because of Pitts hasn't been as high as he was supposed to be, but again, it's the offense you're in. It's the offense you're in. Same with quarterbacks, same with other guys. It's the offense that you're in.
Yeah, I agree. Number 7. Now, this one, I know this one because I've been studying this one because it's a boring pick. It is the Tennessee Titans at 7. And I know this pick. This is probably 100% Casey. You just booked this one in. Joe Alt, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame. I mean, I think
I agree with that one.
That one is like, I think that's the only one that will, besides maybe Caleb Williams at 1. I think that those 2 will definitely.
Well, unless someone surprises,
and takes him before, right?
Maybe Harbaugh, says,
I mean,
you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, we don't have to expect because with the draft with him, but.
Well, speaking of the Atlanta Falcons that we were speaking of, they pick at number 8. I don't know. I've seen a lot of drafts, and I'm going to say they're going to take the Murphy kid from Texas. He's a defensive lineman. And I've been seeing some films on him recently, and he's a stud. And that especially in the NFC South, you need a guy that can get to the quarterback quickly. Because look, you're playing Carolina, you can get to Bryce. You can get to Baker if you can get to So I think they got to do that on the defensive side. They got Cousins. They'll probably make some other moves offensively with their other picks. So I'm saying they go defense with Murphy from Texas.
I go with. What's his name? Dallas Turner from Alabama.
Okay.
That's who I was. Yeah, linebacker. That's what I think, or edge line, whatever you want to call him. Yep. But that's what I would go with because I said, like you said, I think they're going defense. I can't see them going offense because, like we just said, they do have people. They have weapons that are there. Yep. I just think that's but I can see either way.
Okay, number 9, we got the Bears. If like I said, this is all contingent upon nobody making trades and just straight up. I got them taking that the kid from Florida State, the edge, Verse, I think his name. Yeah, Jared Verse. I got him. Because look, in the NFL, you get your quarterback, and then you got to get your defensive line solidified. To what I'm saying, what do you want? You want a quarterback, and then you want to get to the other quarterback, and that's kind of like the NFL nowadays. And then you put the weapons all around, and so I'm going to say they're going to go with him. He's position rank. He's number 1 for defensive edges, and I think that's what they want.
So, I still have Malik Neighbors, correct? Do I still have?
Yeah, you still got.
That's who I'm going with there. So
I like that. I like that. Pair him with Williams.
Exactly. So either way here, I personally think if one of the top 3 receivers are there at 9,
I would agree with that. If I didn't have them being taken 4, 5, and 6, I would definitely. Yeah.
So then the other thing I would also see is if Joe Alt is not taken.
I can see that. Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
By the Titans as well. But I mean, we're penciling again with the board you have left. It makes sense. But like I said, if Alt falls to 9, I can see him taking him just because, as you said, defensive. Getting to the pass, getting to the quarterback on defense is important, and protecting your quarterback is also important. And I think that with Fields recently, with on the Bears, he struggled with that, right? With getting pressured so much. So I think if if there's a receiver available, I take a receiver. If alt's available, I take alt. And then if not, but on my board, like I said, I say Neighbors is going there.
Yeah. Okay, and then to round off our draft, because we're doing just 10 because we got a short show today, but the Saints pick at number 10. Now, I'm this guy I know a little bit about because obviously he played in the Big Ten from Penn State, the offensive tackle, Fashanu. I'm going to say, I don't want to even pronounce his first name. I'll just butcher it, but Fashanu. Yeah, and he's actually ranked ahead of Joe Alt in some of the draft boards when it comes to offensive tackles. So I think it's between Alt and him when it comes to what tackle you want. I think the Saints go tackle here because they give up a lot of sacks.
Yeah, the Saints are tricky because, I mean, I don't even know what they're going to do this year. Like the Saints,
I don't know what their big plan is, and they're looking forward. So I say take the safe pick, and if you can get the number 1 offensive tackle, and he's still on the board at number 10, I don't know. I think you kind of have to go that way.
Yeah, I think they could go with, since I haven't taken Odunze yet off the board. I think
okay.
Yeah, I would pencil him even because you got to. He was tough last year on Washington. You put him with
he was. I love watching him
Chris
play
Olave,
Oregon,
man.
Yeah,
that is a tough 1-2 punch over there because they lost what's his name, Michael Thomas.
Yes.
Right. So maybe again that's with the board that I have there. That's
because you pair him with Olave.
Yeah, exactly. And is it Carr still their quarterback, right?
Yes.
Derek Carr. Yeah. Yes. So I mean, I don't know if Carr's the answer, but
you sign him to that deal, so you're gonna have him probably the next 2 years. I would
exactly. That's what's tough. There's certain teams that have these dudes that are like, in that 10 to 20 quarterback range.
Yes,
they have games that are impressive, but they also have games that they lose the game. So it's hard to But like I said, I think with the board that I built, that's what
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
If he's available nowadays, because like I said, and like you said, what you said earlier too, if you have a playmaker available and at a position like the wide receiver has been, where it's mostly 70 to 80% hit on the top 5. Then it's a safe pick. Then it's now considered a safe pick.
Yeah, and even what we say here, you look with that, the domino effect of that runs to. Okay, now it's not just one good receiver you need. You need a whole core, right? So you have the Browns. It shows it right there with Cooper, right? And we had Moore, who's a 3, and some other guys on a right, and Njoku. But we got Judy because we know that have to have the weapons around the quarterback, like you said. And it's, I think now with the better draft receivers, again, every team then has 1 or 2 guys that are pretty tough. So you have to match it. So I think even just having Olave, you double him, and who else do you have now on that team, right? So it is a domino effect where it kind of shifts because, like I said, having Elijah Moore as your 3, I feel a lot more comfortable with.
Oh, I would agree.
So so there's various teams that I think might be seeing a shift in because passing the ball is more popular now than running the ball. Right, so the Browns are kind of an outlier. The Titans last year, with Derrick Henry and stuff.
Well, with the new Browns offense with Ken Dorsey, they're going to be in the shotgun 90% of the time now.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to see that Buffalo offense a little bit.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because you Chubb's coming off that injury, so you might kind of lighten his load a little bit.
But I think that's kind of what the thinking is too.
Yeah,
as well.
And you've got Hines who could have that kind of dump off and make in space. Yes. So I think it
fits the personnel better, I think, too.
Yeah, and I think Chubb will still be good, because we know the strength of the Browns couple past years with Hunt and Chubb healthy was when you get to that fourth quarter, they're both still fresh. They're running on 80 as compared to the defense running on 60 because we were swapping them out throughout the game, and it wasn't a huge gap. That's my one worry now. But if we could have those dump offs to Hines or even. Drew and Ford were both not really huge.
No, but I don't think he's as bad as what.
No, but in an auxiliary role, that's not the main guy.
No, your role
it might be better. Yeah, and again, he'll be healthy. He'll be fresher running instead of having carrying the ball so much as he did last year. So again, I just think the more weapons you have, the better. Because the 49ers, man, were so hard. To me, watching them, I enjoyed watching them because they had so many tools around them, right? And they had so many guys that could do everything. So I think there's never a problem having too many weapons as long as the players get along.
That's the thing.
If you have an OBJ or someone that like he needs to eat, and even Stephon Diggs, right?
Yeah.
People like that kind of need the ball and aren't that team mentality. That's where it hurts. But if you have everyone that's bought into the team, I think the more weapons, the better for every team.
I agree. That's all. That will conclude our NFL talk. And hey, great stuff. We did a mock draft. We're mocking around and we're having fun doing that. But
we'll see how off we are. But
that's the thing. But I guess let's get into a little bit of some NBA now. Obviously, the Cavaliers take a 2-0 lead on the Orlando Magic, looking good doing so. Not playing perfect basketball, but doing enough and getting it done to keep home court. What's your takes on the first two games and moving forward? What do you see in the series?
I think you might agree when I say this, but I think the Orlando Magic like the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs last year.
The lights are too bright, are they?
Watching these so again, I've seen the Magic in person a couple times because I live down here, obviously, when they go to the games. Yep. And watching Banchero this series so far, it's not the same Banchero. Because I can't believe I'm saying this, but Niang has been shutting him down, like putting pressure on him.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe I'm saying this after 2 months ago when I wanted to, get rid of Niang. But I think that the Banchero was just shook. He had 8 turnovers in game one. Yeah. I'm not sure how much he had last game, but I'm pretty sure he had a good amount because watching the game, it's just what was smart to me in the first game. They knew what to do with them because when they get to the paint, he'd get to the free throw line, he would do a little spin every time. Yep. But the guy on the wing playing defense knew it. So he jumped when he spun, he knocked the ball out. It happened 4 times in game one, right? So they changed it up now. He was going baseline, I think, more in game 2. But then they were shutting him down because they were using the baseline to stop him. And if you got Niang giving, again, I think Niang's giving more in the playoffs. The energy I see from him and the defensive effort is different than the effort I seen 20 games ago. You know what I mean?
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So if the way he's playing now, he's not hitting shots. He's still not hitting threes.
But he's doing his role. He's doing his role.
Yes, he's doing his role. So you have Allen and Mobley looking like the New York Knicks of last year.
Allen's got 38 rebounds through 2 games.
Yes, exactly. That's what we were both, I think, this whole season from All-Star break on. We were here, there, there. It was such a roller coaster, but these 2 games have given me hope because people, it's just the Orlando Magic. They were pretty hot getting into where in the playoffs because they got to the 5th seed and they were close to 3, right? You could have seen an outcome where they're up higher than that.
One more week of basketball and they probably would have had it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So who says that we can't be like the Knicks last year made a run, right? Yeah. They could have beat the Heat, so they played last year. I think they could have beat the Heat, right? Yeah. So I think if I commented on some things on X with this because the Cavs are playing the shittier team, so they lost them. You've seen it, lost on purpose to play the Magic, right? But they're going to get their ass kicked against the Celtics, as everybody's saying this. My response to this is possibly that could happen,
right?
But if we can get good momentum from this series, if we could sweep them or go 4-1, right, in this series, and we're feeling good, our defense looks fantastic.
It does,
shutting everybody down, right, man? So if we could do that and carry it to the Celtics. Who says we can't? Who says we can't beat them because of the momentum we had? Whereas if you played, Sixers are down 2-0 as well.
Well, what I hear, we match up well against Boston. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
nobody perfectly does, and they're a great team. We're not saying
I
that,
agree.
But at the same time, better than
you look at our team, man. I look at our team it's glimmers of hope I see of Mitchell. He's looking explosive these 2 games, like he was earlier, right in the season. If Garland could do he's not going to put up 25 a game. Yeah, he's not putting 25 up, but if he could get 7-8 assists, right, and he hits the shots when it's important. Yesterday, he did it. 2 games in a row, he did it. He hit 2 or 3 threes at one point, and it went from a 10-point to a 16-point game, right? And that momentum swing at home, crowd goes crazy. Hit a big three, come back down, nail it, crowd goes crazy. Now, we're playing away next 2, because I'm going to the game 4. But the positive
Saturday game 4?
Yeah, Saturday, correct. So hopefully it's a 3-0 and we kick him out there. But the positive of the away side is if he hits those shots, to stop the momentum from the Magic at the home crowd, and it kills the crowd. Again, he needs to hit the shots when they matter. If he's only scoring 12 to 15, he has to hit those shots when it matters.
Yes.
Right? And then Levert and Okoro last game looked good. They put some stuff up, right? If they could just do that, hit those threes when it's needed, have those drive it in, claps, throw it out, like Levert's been doing.
Mobley playing well.
Yes. If everybody could play, like we have the tools, man. Like if they're all on at the same time.
We've been saying that all year. We've been saying that all year.
Because I'm looking at truthfully, I'm watching the game and I'm looking at the bench and I'm like, well, shit, like Merrill can come in and hit some shots real quick. Niang, if he could hit some shots, hit 2 or 3, stop on defense. Again, with the Magic, got some assholes on their team, Ingles and, Mo Wagner's. Yeah, exactly. So Niang matches that, right? It's the pieces that go together with the other team. I think that if we're all if it's okay if Strus isn't so far he hasn't been doing much, right? Like offensively.
He's been getting rebounds though. He's tough.
That's what I'm saying. If you could not just get eliminated from the game totally, like Strus, like I said, 10 points, but 8 rebounds. 7 rebounds is huge because as a team, it's important not rebound the other team, right? So I think that with the Celtics, if Mobley can hang with Porzingis, right? Because that's kind of the, Porzingis is a stretch 4. So you're going to pull Mobley out or you're going to pull Allen out. I prefer to keep Allen down there.
I would too.
Because you got Horford's the other option on that team. But if you could get him down there and Allen and Mobley could out-rebound those two, because Porzingis, like I said, he's at the 3-point line. So if you could out-rebound them, I think that that's where we have the advantage.
Guy down, that changes everything.
Yeah, and Okoro, man, this year he's growing on me so much. I'll be upset now if we don't re-sign. Depends the price. Right. But I think that he plays he's gotten better every year. Yeah. Every single season we've seen him get better. I think that it would hurt if we see him leave and go to the Knicks or especially to the Knicks. Yeah. Or a team that will play in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, like Indiana or something or somebody like that.
Exactly. It's going to hurt because I think he'll, I think he's growing, man. I think he's a good piece to have.
I agree. Like I said, hopefully Kobe Altman can get that done on the
exactly.
On the
and Mitchell, to me, he's been starting hot. He's hitting kind of a second, third quarter dying down, but
then he gets hot in the fourth again.
Yes, and the rest of the team is carrying. It's not just him having to do everything. So you same with Mobley, game 1, man. He had 16 in the first half. Didn't score in the second half.
Didn't need to.
But you didn't need to. Other guys did it. He was rebounding, playing good defense, right? So people complaining, oh, Mobley, you're all are saying he's so great, but he didn't score. But we won the game, and he did his job in the second half. He scored when he had to in the first half.
That's the thing. Sometimes goals throughout a basketball game change, and people always if you're not getting 30, 10, and 20, it's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, it's when the shots in the playoffs, it's when the shots matter. When we're playing 80-point, 90-point games, it's important to hit those when they matter. Yes. It's just the way. To me, I'm not sure if you agree with this, but when I watch the Cavs in the playoffs, they're always scoring less, right? The defense is always better too. Yeah. I like these games. I enjoy the games when it's 80 to 85 or 90.
Regular season 120, 115. Get out of here.
That's why people. I said something on X2, man. I'm like, oh, this is the most boring series. I'm like, have you not watched it? Have you seen the games? Because I don't know if you have.
I like defense. I like turnover. I like watching people hustle.
It's defense and fights. Yeah, because it's the aggressiveness too. Yes. I enjoy watching. It's playoff basketball. It's not the same as watching them play the Magic. Again, I've seen them play the Magic because I went to the games. It's not the same as those games. You're watching it. They're just shooting. Jogging. Every possession matters in the playoffs. And it shows right now. So I think that I'm feeling good about the Cavs right now. Maybe next Tuesday I'll have a different take, but
if they can split one and get one in Orlando and be up 3-1, that would make a big difference.
No, I agree with you. That's why even yesterday, man, I said if they lost yesterday, I would have been I wouldn't have felt as good. But look how strong we were against them. It was just that one window towards the end where we were
Well, you
up by
build here's what
20.
you did. You build a cushion. If worst comes to worst and it becomes a 3-game series, you have 2 of those 3 at home then if it's tight.
And use the crowd, I think, makes a difference. That's why I do want to see, because we'll be the away team against, if we advance the Celtics, right? We'll be in the other aspect, right? So I want to see how we play in Orlando.
I know, just to see how we would translate it. I got you, yes.
In the away team. Now, from my experience, again, from being here, the Magic, when I go to the games, my girlfriend made a good point about it too. She said, both games went to, the people that were there, most of them were just there because of the heritage night or the giveaway of the game. Like, they're not actual Magic fans.
They're not like Cleveland fans. They're not like Cleveland fans.
They're wearing casual, like just normal, like American Eagle clothes or like Hollister. They're just they're not dressing in the in Magic here because they're only there because it's again, why it was Jewish night and it was Brazilian night, right? So the people a majority of the people at those games weren't actual Magic fans. They were just there because of the heritage night. So to me, I think Magic fans do not compare to Cleveland fans. We'll see. And I go Saturday, right, in the playoff atmosphere. We'll see. I'll see how it is, and I'll let you know on next week's show. But I just think that it's not, from my living down here. You don't see many Magic attire out, right? You know what I mean? Like in Cleveland, you see a lot of Cleveland gear. You don't see a lot of Orlando Magic gear around down here. From Casey and Orlando's perspective, that is
they're not boots on the ground. We got them.
Yes, I don't think it'll be as big of a shift in the crowd as it was.
So that's okay. Well, that's good for Cleveland. Moving on to another maybe series we could talk about. LeBron complaining about the referees in a playoff series. Imagine that. So, my take about the Lakers yesterday was, don't blow a big lead then. Just me saying.
Yeah, up by 20 is tough to go back down to that. I mean, you think he's correct though on some of these?
I probably think he's correct. Yes, I do.
It's the same with baseball, same with every sport, man. It's bad when the referees, the umpires are the focus of the games, right? When that's the focus. Again, I think with that one, like you said, they shouldn't have lost. The 20-point lead wasn't lost just because of the refs.
20-point lead, and it doesn't. Yeah. But here's the thing about LeBron, which
don't put yourself in that spot.
LeBron, when he drives the lane, he's a locomotive. He's huge. So there's times that he gets hit, the refs just don't go. Like Jordan, he gets, touched by a finger, they're going to call a foul. With LeBron, for whatever reason, this is going back to even when he was skinny LeBron, back when he first came in the league. Like, it was because he's 6'8", and it just, there's something about that. And for whatever the reason, the refs just will not give him the benefit of the doubt because they think he's like the aggressor, and they let it play on. And it's like AAU basketball. I always say it's like AAU, the Wild Wild West. And LeBron, I don't know. You know how it goes, and for him to be saying that, I think he's just setting it up for Game 3. He knows he can't do nothing about Game 2. That's over with. He's mad about it. But he's talking about the rest because when the critical calls in Games 3 and 4, which they really need to continue on the series, maybe he'll get 1 or 2 that he really needs. He's just working the refs. He's a veteran. LeBron knows how it's done.
Well, it's interesting because JB Bickerstaff always is chirping to the refs, right?
Yes,
always, constantly. So it's in the playoffs now. I think we see it. I see it more like how all the players, every call, are vocal to the refs on it, right?
Yep.
I do think they fuck up often, right? But it's a hard job, it's even harder because with you, every single play you have somebody yelling at you. Right? No matter what the call is.
That's true.
Every time up and down the court, there's someone that is upset at you. Right? So it is tricky. But I think that in basketball, and you see the playoffs, right? The kind of hands off a little more on the calls, which I do like.
Yes.
But it's what I always usually complain about with the Sixers is what I see. And see what LeBron with kind of bowling through people and he's being the aggressor. It's like Embiid, Giannis, those two guys. It's aggravating when we play them because they're going there, right? And they fucking plowing them over, no call. Then they go in there, they barely get hit, foul, 2 free throws, right? So it's frustrating because there's certain players in the NBA, like I said, I think Embiid and Giannis both, because we play it because we're in the same, conference. We see them more than other teams. Right. When I watch them play against the Cavs, man, they do bully Mobley and Allen.
Yes,
but they're fouls. Like if it was reversed, there are fouls. Like, what are you supposed to do when your hands up, and the dude's just shouldering you, man? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword, like you said with LeBron. How many offensive fouls aren't called when he's, we see it too. We played in Cleveland,
Yeah.
knocking dudes over. How many times are the calls not? So I think it evens out in the NBA just because there's so much, ticky-tack stuff, and you don't call them this side, you don't call it the other side. But in baseball, different story.
Well,
I'm sure you
we're gonna
saw
get to
what
that.
Aaron Boone. Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're gonna move on to baseball, but before we do that, we're gonna hit up my favorite segment, and we all know what that is. This is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sports breaking news. The Wolverines played their annual spring game this past weekend with the May squad defeating the Blue squad 17-7. Asked what the biggest takeaway from the game was, first-year head coach Sharon Moore said, all coaches and players know what the signs are. The NFL draft starts this Thursday, so all the nerds that are most likely not having sex can go back to not having sex, but they can finally stop mocking around. Hey now. And finally, today is the 35th anniversary of my dad taking me to my first baseball game. I'll never forget seeing the field for the first time or hearing the crack of the bat as the Yankees defeated my beloved Indians 5-0. It was also the first time I got to say, fuck the Yankees. And this is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sports breaking news.
Still fuck the Yankees, but
I was 9 years old. It was fun.
Speaking of the Yankees, I'm sure again you see that they got shut out against the A's.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to go into baseball talk right now. Yeah, so
Yep.
I'm going to hit the three things here. But yeah, okay, so Yankees not doing so well against the Oakland Athletics.
But I'm sure you saw. Oh, the Guardians played the A's 6 games, and they're on playing weak opponents, and these wins don't matter. Right. But when the Yankees get shut out against the same team that we swept,
it's just another regular season game. Don't move on. They play 162.
It's crazy to me how the perception of the same situation is so different depending on the teams. And if you looked, I'm sure you saw this too. The Oakland A's were like 500 if you took the Cleveland Guardians games out of there. Yeah. So outside of playing us, they're 500 500 this year.
They got a good closer too. They got some pieces. Yeah. I mean, not enough to win, but still.
It's I mean, it's tough. Like because casual fans probably do not know probably the entire lineup of the A's.
Like I would say even probably people in Oakland or even maybe that work for the Oakland A's don't know who's on the team.
Like even me, like when I watched these games, I was like, man, like some of these dudes, I never even heard of them. Like even like Boston, because they're playing Boston right now, because we played them already. So this is the second series. I'm like, some of these guys, like fucking hitting 130. What are we doing?
You gave me an idea. There will be a game in an upcoming episodes of the We Like Sports show because of Casey right now, and I will mention and reference this moment right now when we played that game. Casey, thank you.
It's probably like the Charles Barkley. What teams who he play for? It's like
there might be some elements to that as well, or I might just say, is this person even a Major League Baseball player?
Exactly. There was a dude on the Red Sox, like Wilmer or something, plays right field. That robbed like a home run from. Only I knew he was because he robbed a home run from us. I never heard of. Yeah, I never heard of that fucking guy before that either.
I'll drop in some UPS delivery drivers. We'll throw in some. You know what I'm saying?
But like, I'm curious because we all are Cleveland fans. So I wonder who our players like that are. Right. So if you ask the equivalent of us, like a fan that's like our interest in the sport, right? So do you know who Tyler Freeman is? Do you know who?
That's a good one.
Will Brennan. Do you know our outfielders? Actually, like our outfielders, Arias, Rocchio.
Yeah.
Like, what do teams think of them? Right. Because even Stephen Kwan. Yeah. You see the power rankings of hitters. This dude's got the highest average in the American League. Not even top 10 on power rankings for like MLB or a Bleach Report top 10 hitters. The fucker got leads and hits. Leads in like runs scored and as high up an average, not top 10. So casual fans probably do not know who Stephen Kwan is because if he's not, on that podium, Josh Naylor more now because of the crazy shit he does, is seen more. But I don't think people really understand like the Guardians and who we have and really the pieces we have, right?
No,
what they do.
Yeah.
Because it's Jose Ramirez, Class A maybe, Bieber. Other than that, like I don't think they really casual fans, even fans of another team, would know anybody other than that.
Also, too, Casey, before because I know you got to leave pretty soon, but I want to do this. I want to do a great debate, but I want to, but it'll be me versus you, and I'm going to have you actually pick a topic, and then you can pick
All right.
what's up. But we'll
in 2024 and beyond. Don't forget to tune in to
so we're going to have the great debate. Oh yeah,
the We Like Sportz show presents to you the Great Debate.
Yeah, this. Hey, I'm giving the power to the people. This is 2024, and I'm giving it to Casey in Orlando. You got one topic, and you can pick which side, and I'll even go first.
All right. I will say, are the Cleveland Guardians for real or not for real? So is this a fugazi?
I think they're for real.
All right.
I think okay.
Right. I'll let you have. I mean,
do you want to go different? Do you want to go different? Do you want?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I mean, so again, the words and feelings and thoughts that we are going to express may or may not be our true feelings.
Right. Thank you for that disclaimer.
So please understand that this is for debate purposes. The sides that we are taking may not be the sides that we truly agree on.
Correct.
There you go.
And with that being said, I will take the position of the Cleveland Guardians are not fugazi. They are for real. And here's why. They are out to a 16-6 record, which sometimes people think, oh, well, they haven't played anybody. You mentioned the Oakland A's, if you're a Yankees fan, who have struggled against them. I say this, you've played 22 games, you've won 16 of them. They're major league opponents. I like that. Getting out to a hot start, not always something that the Cleveland baseball franchises have done.
Never.
So, but also this, I think there's something special that it's kind of like a snowball effect where teams come out of nowhere. And besides maybe the Washington Nationals in 2019 that kind of started out slow, and then where did they come from starting basically in June and July, and then they got hot and won the World Series. That usually doesn't happen. Usually what happens in Major League Baseball is you get a team that's not expected to do much, and they just start winning, and then it's like a cumulative effect. And all of a sudden come May, and maybe their worst month is they play 500 baseball, but they're playing 10 games above, they're playing 5 games above, and then at the end of the year, like, wow, they got a crazy record. Then you win your division. So I'm gonna stop with the caveat of this: they are for real. They are for real, and I believe they are going to win the American League Central. Now, if you're asking me, are they for real when it comes to being World Series legitimate contenders? I don't know that yet. I think that still has to be played out. But winning ball games and winning in the fashion that they're winning in, where everybody's contributing, where, a different hero every night. Now what they have as well is, you talked about Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor's batting 340 since last minimum 400 at bats. I mean, he's leading the league in that category. And now Jose Ramirez has somebody else in that lineup that, when you talk about the Cleveland Guardians, like, wow, they got 2 mashers on their team. They got 2 winners, I'm saying that, it's just like Canseco and McGuire back. It's just like Bonds and Bonilla. I mean, you talk about Naylor and Ramirez. I mean, that can be an epic, we go on and win the World Series. And that would be an epic pairing. And that's something that they potentially have. Now, I'm not going to say that's what they're going to be, but you asked, are they fugazi? The answer is no. Are they for real? Yes. And that's as far as I can go with that.
Now, before I go, the question I have a follow up on this is: what do you consider for real? Like, what is your standard for?
Okay, anytime you are a legitimate division contender, that's for real, because you win your division. There's something to be said about winning a division where now you can win that division series. Now, what I'm saying? Now you're at the point. I don't know if you're good enough to win that American League Championship Series. That's what I'm saying? That's a different.
But it gets you in play. It gets you in play.
Puts you in play.
Yeah.
So that would, yes. That's how I'll answer that.
All right.
You have the unenvious position of taking that they are fugazi and they are not for real. Now, like I said, this does not reflect the personal opinions of Casey in Orlando, but for great debate purposes, he's a professional and he will argue that point.
Yes. So, as you see, I'm in Orlando. So I'm going to compare this Cleveland Guardians team to a team that is relatively close to me down here, which is the Tampa Bay Rays. If we recall, last season, they set the record with 13 wins to start the season. They were 13-0 to start the year, right? And everyone said, holy shit, like this is insane. Can't believe this. This is impressive, etc. And the question, I believe, was similar to by many people: are they fugazi? Are they real? Right. So, as that's why I asked you, I was curious what you think is the like epitome of what's for real. Correct. So, Rays, we thought we were worried about. I'm sure people in baseball, man, they're going to be realists. I can't believe this. This is insane. Can't believe this. At the end of last year, they ended up in the wild card, and they lost in the wild card. So, just because you start hot doesn't mean necessarily that you are for real. Because if we look back in history, the Guardians usually suck to start the season, right? Yep. And I know this hurts you when I bring this up with the 2016 World Series. I'm sure if I pulled up our record for the first 20 games, I'm sure that it's not as good as it is right now. Probably, I'm assuming 500, right? I'm assuming
if that
10-10, right? Was what I'm guessing here. And with that Rays team that was last year, they were plus 71 in run differential, which our run differential, I believe, is very high this year so far too. Yes. And again, they did not win their division, so because the Baltimore Orioles won their division last year, 101 wins, right? So that is just recent sample sizes, and like I said with the Cleveland Indians at the time, they always started slow, but they got hot at the right time, right? Yes. So for baseball, I think it's important getting hot at the right time. We saw it with that 23 game win streak we had that one season. 22, yeah, and we lost to the Yankees, right, in the playoffs.
Yes.
So again, it's all about getting hot at the right time. So
give me cry, Casey. Stop.
Again, does this how I truly feel? Not necessarily, but for this argument's sake, that is my argument on to why the Guardians aren't real. We're just looking at, again, my thing is history repeats itself, right? I say this a lot, and I believe in history repeats itself. So looking back at history, recent history, last 10 years of history, teams that started hot, and that's not necessarily always carry over to be for real at the end of the season.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to give you the win. No, you brought up great points. This is why we have you on, Casey and Orlando, for your expert analysis. But also, hey, you are an historian of baseball. You know your diamond, and we appreciate that. So now you get the win today, and you get the win for hopping on. Just hopping on.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. The great.
But what do you got going on? What do you got before you hop off? What do you got going on tonight?
So got a doubleheader in softball this evening. That is why I have to hop off. Game at 7:30, 8:30. Okay. We are I don't know, 5-2, something like that, around that. But the negative today is most of our good players are not playing because they are doing something else. And we were playing the undefeated team in the first game of the doubleheader. So I think that game is not going to be.
You'll have to let us know in our group chat. I want to know. I want breakhead news. I need to know minute by minute up to.
Yeah, sure. I'm shortstop, batting third. That's my.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody, good luck to Casey in Orlando.
Hall of Shamers. Hall of Shamers is the team name. So.
Hall of Shamers.
Yeah, Hall of Shamers. So we started last year 0-5. We ended the season 5-5.
Oh.
So, and then this year, as you see, we carried some momentum into the year going into it. Half our team never played baseball or softball in their life. Okay. Before last year.
Well, did they know they knew to go, first base?
No, they didn't even know that. I said, didn't even know that. Didn't know you even had to wear gloves to play in the outfield. So, keeping this in mind, my girlfriend played two weeks ago because we were short people, and she's never held a bat in her life. So with our record being what it is,
that is kudos to that.
It is relatively impressive that we are as good.
Whoever
as we
your
are.
manager is, they deserve some consideration.
We got 3 co-managers, me, and then 2 other guys are player coaches. We got to coach if we're not batting, we're coaching the bases because again, the rest of the team running bases is not. They don't understand
not
that.
Your forte.
No, so player coaches. Yeah, we got 3 player coaches on the team here. So.
Okay. Well,
that is exciting.
This is your closing time. Any parting words before you jump off?
Yes. This is perfect. So this is the kind of like a grind my gears because I texted you about this in Peyton a few days ago.
Oh yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I tell my girlfriend every day too. This. I want X a lot. I'm reading it a lot. That's pretty much when I'm watching sports. I've said it to you guys before. If I'm watching the Guardians by myself, I want to see is what I'm thinking or seeing. I'm the only person thinking this, right? There's other people thinking it. So I'm on X. But recently I've been more on it, like kind of looking at stuff and reading and tweeting back at people. It is truly, truly amazing to me. 2 things. The first thing is Cleveland X/Twitter. We had the debate like a year ago. What like Cleveland X is worse? Is it Guardians, Browns, or Cavs. I don't even know, man. I think they'll blow. I've never seen so much negativity in my life. Like, there will be a situation, let's just hypothetically say, Stephen Kwan's leading the American League in the batting average, right? Someone tweets that out. Oh, this is the first time ever. And then somebody from Cleveland comments on it. Oh, he's just nothing. He can't hit home runs. La, 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 la. We'll see what happens. Look at last year. Jesus Christ. Like, Gabriel Arias is the example I'm going to give you. I think I said it. It's bizarre. 2 weeks ago, I would say 3 weeks ago, he's horrible. Get rid of him. Rocchio's lead the league in doubles. Arias is trash. La, 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 la. Next week, Gabriel Arias, MVP. Oh my God, he's the best. Rocchio needs
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
He's the best defensive player on our team. La la la. He's gonna get Golden Glove. This is just they can't look at the big picture. It is such a little thing, and if something good is happening, right away, negative, constantly, right? So my second thing is on the grand scheme of it, which correlates to what I've sent you as well, and it happened with Naylor at first base. So I got into an argument with somebody about Josh Naylor blocking first base on, who was it, Soto? I think it was. Yes. So the dude argues with me and then says he was blocking the base before the ball was even in the infield. Then the man posts the picture of the ball in the infield, hit the ground, and Soto's not even halfway back to first base, and Naylor's going to catch it like this.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good argument.
Like, he's throwing the shit out there, and you can clearly see in the argument what he said counteracts the picture that he put on there.
Yeah,
like it is.
If you're gonna use photo evidentiary stuff, make sure that it's not contradictory to what your statement was.
It's that. The second one is that balk that they call.
Oh yeah, the balk.
Right?
Yes.
It's the same shit. I got into an argument with somebody about the balk, and I said, okay, show me. I'm not shitting you. I put in the comment the rule book. It says on there what the rules are, right?
Right.
And the dude just takes the part that supports his argument and then responds that and ignores the sentence underneath it that states the other part of it. And I'm like, are you just not reading the whole
you haven't paid attention to politics in the last 100 years.
It's crazy. So then the most recent thing, like I said, was the thing on, this is the most boring series ever in the NBA, right? So the dude that commented that got 2 likes on this thing. And I tweet back, say you haven't watched the series, that's saying you haven't watched it, right? Yeah. So I say that, and I get 26 likes on it. And I said, see, like, I think I'm in the majority then. If I got 26, I'll reply to yours, and you got
13 times as much. Right, yes.
That's what I'm saying, right? So it's just crazy how again, like I said, you live on X, you live on there. Peyton's more on there than I am.
I've been
more than me.
Trying to,
more than me, right? Like I don't tweet ever. I've been tweeting more than I usually do, right? Yeah. But
I love me some meat, Casey. I love me some meat.
Yeah. It just blows my mind. Like I enjoy debates. I enjoy arguments, right? But when the other person,
I know,
it's just so oblivious to it. Like,
you expect the other person to use rational thinking, and that's your first mistake. Yeah, that's your first mistake.
It is. You know, I'm too naive, I guess, in the situations here. But it grinds my gears. My closing time was, if you're on Twitter /X, use some logic. Just please.
Seinfeld reference. Just think when you're arguing, you're going up against Jackie. What's
Jackie Childs?
That thing you're going up against him, and everything is off the. Yeah, it's all. Crazy.
It's crazy. It's like right now is with it's we see it both, right? When it comes to Guardians Twitter, it's the Twins fans and the Yankees fans that are just a pain in the ass down there to me. When I read this shit, I'm like, what? Fucking Twins are horrible right now. What are you? Just shut up. Just shut up. Like, what are you doing? Right? Yankees, shut up too. You're paying, like, one of their players makes more than a whole team. So I don't need to hear your shit either. Like, when we have a better record than you, give us some credit. Like, you know,
I would agree. That's good takes, Casey.
I gave the Rays some credit last year when they were on this like streak. I had no problem. We're American League teams. Hey, that's impressive, man. 13 games to win. It's impressive, right? Yeah. And then I said when it goes. You know this, Jew. When it goes to the other side with the Cavs, you have Knicks fans nonstop on there. That is the worst. I haven't seen anything from the Magic fans. I haven't seen, but it's the Knicks.
I know. What are
Goddamn
they?
Knicks are just so annoying
They
on
are.
there, right? So, and it's even some Cavs fans do,
We're
start
guilty
some
of
shit
it
with
as
them
well.
too. Yeah. But again, it's just I'm all for arguments, but you got to make it like somewhat logical. You can't
Yeah.
like put a picture and then your argument
Right.
counteracts
It's
the argument that you
contradictory
have.
to that
Yeah,
picture.
like I
Yeah.
get 420 just happened, but like, come on
Yeah.
now, like, come on.
It's over with now. We've moved on. But
It's great. You can't be blaming that 3 days later. But like I said, it's just my thing is use some logic on there. I get it, social media. I get there's like the people that just are on there just to fuck with everybody.
right.
But still, some people truly have a real argument. They're like, I'm right. That's just like I said.
No, Casey. We're like I said, we got to get you out of here because you got a double header to go.
Yep.
I'm going to pay some bills and do some mop up work while you're gone.
Yeah.
But hey, do us all a favor in the We Like Sports world. Get us a victory Saturday in Orlando.
That's right. Hopefully it's get the magic packing. Get Mo Wagner's ass
I'll
out,
be happy
get
with
him
3
on.
when they play Thursday and Saturday. You're going Saturday
Yep.
game 4, and that could be the clincher for our Cleveland Cavaliers.
Correct. And I'm hoping that when I go, I want to be the one that's the minority that is celebrating, not the minority that's.
I made before you go. I made a joke that said, "Look, anytime Casey goes somewhere, here's what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to get done. Miles Straw is going to hit a home run in that game. I don't know.
Oh,
Look,
I know Straw jersey under my
Miles Straw is going to hit a home run in a basketball game that he's not even at. That's what's going to happen. That's just my luck.
Miles Straw is on fire right now in AAA.
I also Kyle Manzardo.
Ed's
His weekend 3 home runs, 7 hits.
I know.
Heating up in Columbus.
I'm this close to buying a $75 autograph Kyle Manzardo bat before he gets big, man. I got hope for him when he gets called up to the Guardians. I think he's going to be something. So I'm this close to pulling the trigger on getting a autograph Kyle Manzardo bat for $75 before he's big.
I'm more conservative when it comes to my purchases, but if that's what gets it over the hump and gets us, because we're going to need some more bets moving on. But Casey, thank you for hopping on the We Like Sports show. Good luck tonight. Good luck Saturday. There he is, everybody. Casey in Orlando.
It was a pleasure. I don't have too much fun without me.
Thank you. All right. What a treat. What a treat. We had Casey in Orlando. But here's the deal. Got a couple things got to do before we get out of here. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention an energy drink that will keep me going the final 5 minutes, and that is Dubby. If you want an energy drink that you can mix at home that doesn't give you the jitters or make you crash, then try Dubby. Their products have no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. Dubby has such great flavors as Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dub Sludge. So head on over to Dubby.gg, use the coupon code We Like Sports to get 10% off your order. So you'll want to do that. Also, don't forget to check out the Snooze You Lose podcast with Uncle Joe the Black Bookie. He will get you set with his Sunday Snooze You Lose pick of the week. He's been hot, so you want to check out Uncle Joe, and he'll get you more coin for your man purse. So you want to do that. And also, I always like to pat ourselves on the back. Head on over to WeLikeSportsPC.com. Great articles. We got great writers. We're hitting up nationally when it comes to different teams in different markets. Peyton's doing a great job with that. So WeLikeSportsPC.com. And also check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Do us a favor. Subscribe. You might like our content. I know you'll like our content. I like it. I like me. We like you. We like sports. So you want to check that out. And also, too, because it is in the world that we live in nowadays, that, sports and money, because I won't even just say it's gambling. I'll say it's money because, hey, some people make a great living on it. So, and if you want to do that, head on over to MyBookie because they know how to get it done. Because you know what? I don't know about you, but if you found a $100 bill on the ground, would you walk past it? I wouldn't. So, if you want an easy chance, head on over to MyBookie. MyBookie has the biggest online selection of odds, contests to fill your sports betting needs anytime, anywhere, so you can turn that sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. See the $100 bill? Now it's cash in your wallet. See what I did there? Bet on NFL, college games, play for a share of big cash prizes and their weekly blackjack tournaments as well. So if you've been waiting for the right time to get in on the action, that time is now. Make your winning move today. Sign up at MyBookie. Use the promo code SPORTS, that's sports with a Z, and claim your deposit match redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code SPORTS with a Z to claim your bonus. Experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your home. So if you want to check out my bookie. Let's see here. You know what? I guess I'll do a little closing time myself. Closing time. I won't sing the words because I'm not a good singer. Yeah, thank you. But here's what I want to do. I want to talk about spring games. Why not? Because my Ohio State Buckeyes, they had a spring game 2 weeks ago, roughly, and they had 80,000 people. And there's a team up north. We won't mention their name, but the Wolverines. Well, I guess we kind of mentioned them a little bit. They had a spring game this past weekend, and it was on national TV, and it was Fox, and, Joel Klatt and all them, and Gus Johnson were there, and that's fine. Good for them. National champions, whatever. But they did not have 80,000 people at their spring game. They didn't have 70,000 people at their spring game. Not even 60, 50, no, 40. That's way too many. From 31,000 people in the big house for the national champion Wolverines. Not exactly what you want to be doing when celebrating a national championship. You would think that now we know, obviously, with a new coach and Sharon Moore, it's not Jim Harbaugh. Got to have new coach. A new quarterback, JJ McCarthy's going. I get that. There's graduation, and maybe their expectations aren't quite as high as it was last year. And that's what happens to a lot of schools. I get that. But, for them to only have 31,000 people for a spring game when the Ohio State Buckeyes are getting 80,000, hey, that's a win for the Bucks right there. So also, too, I want to say shout out to Caitlin Clark. Congratulations on your $28 million Nike deal over 8 years. That's always good. It's nice to see women's sports climbing monetarily as well. You deserve it. You're putting out a great product, and we love it. And shout out to Buckeye Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, former Buckeye, but will always be a Buckeye at heart. Going to be the face of New Balance when it comes to the NFL. So like to see that. Always good when people get paid, especially great athletes. So I want to say to everybody out there, thank you for tuning in to the We Like Sportz show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus. We like you. We like sports. We'll be back next week. Peace.